Hey guys, Brian Stevens here with Mortgage Shots. I got Johnny Fowler once again with Hancock Mortgage. How you doing today, Johnny?
Doing great. How are you, sir?
Doing good, real good. Hey, listen, I was looking at Freddie Mac's third quarter earning reports, and there was a bunch of interesting stuff in there. But one of the things they talked about is how the hurricanes have affected their bottom line. And one of the things that they were talking about is the hit that they were getting from the hurricanes down in Houston. It's not going to be as bad as anticipated for them. So my question is being located down in Houston and having a big footprint down there with Hancock Mortgage, a couple months removed from this, a few storms later, how are you guys all doing?
Man, I tell you what, one thing about Texans, no matter what, they're resilient. And it's not just because of us. The outpouring of support from all over the country. I mean, at any given moment, you could look up and see license plates from all 50 states, theoretically, from the people coming in to help. So I tell people this quite often, especially when I go out and do my talks and stuff. We probably saw about a 2-week slack in Texas, and then I've got a footprint in Florida, and that was about another 2-week slack. And other than that, it was business as usual. And you could almost see it within days. I mean, just like I said, me driving from my house to the office, normal drive, you've done it before, is probably 40 minutes. It was taking 2.5 hours each way, but people were doing it. They were getting out. So I'm with Freddie. 2-week little hiatus, but we were right back up and going.
So from a corporate standpoint, Hancock, were there things that you didn't see coming up that were affecting your bottom line, positively, negatively? Well, how's Hancock faring in this whole thing?
You know, we really didn't see a drop. Honestly, you know, month over month, year over year, probably a 10-12% drop, just because, you know, the hurricane, you could tell the difference in volume. But it did not affect us in any way that I could have thought. I mean, put yourself in my place. Let's say you've got 30 or 40 loans out that you had just closed in Houston, and you can't ship them because nobody's buying them. You can't sell them. You've got to go reinspect everything. You're not sure what's going to happen when you get out there to reinspect. Is there anything to even reinspect? And so, you know, knock on wood, we got so freaking lucky that we had absolutely no problems. Out of, let's say, I don't know, 100 properties that were affected, we had one that water came in the front door. We had to get a reinspection, you know, after the water was cleaned up, but it didn't affect the property at all.
Well, for people to give you a little perspective on this, Houston, I believe, is the 4th largest city in the country, and if you have a big footprint in Florida, you're looking at the 2nd or 3rd largest market. So to have big interests in both those areas, it's nice to hear that you guys are coming through. Now, so the end of the year is fast approaching. We always talk with loan officers every year is what you're doing today is going to affect what happens January 1st. You know, you don't start your resolution January 1, you start it pretty much November 1.
Oh, yeah.
Any type of messaging or any type of plans or strategies that Hancock has right now going into 2018?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of things. One of the biggest things is it's the positive influence, the positive coaching. It's keeping guys with their pedal on the accelerator. You take a Greg Peckman, a Chad Prio, guys like that. It's keeping their foot on the accelerator. We've got this in our industry. We've got this tendency that we think because it's the holidays that business dies off. But one thing that I can tell you is I know for a fact it's not that way, because for home builders, these are usually their 2 largest months of the year going into it. So the business is out there. If you let somebody else take it from you, that's your fault. And then what ends up happening is guys will slow up in November. Their December looks bad. Their January looks horrible. And they've got to wait until that March, April timeframe to get back up and running. So it's just letting guys keep your foot on the accelerator. Whatever's working, keep doing that. Whatever's not working, stop doing that. Implement something new. It's using the tried and proven systems that are out there. We are huge listing booster company. We're a huge Facebook ad company. we're a huge training and teaching and bringing value to the marketplace. I mean, just hell, here the past week, I've done Bay Area Association of Realtors. I did 3 trainings for Realty Associates last week. Huge education in Dallas, Texas last week for Break Free Academy reunion. So it's not letting your foot off the accelerator. By the way, I got to tell you this. This is my aha moment, and this is the one where my head swelled up so big I couldn't fit through the door. I did a little talk for the Bay Area Association of Realtors here in Houston, closer down south, Clear Lake area, and they wanted me to come out, give a little speech, things like that. And when I got there, it was just absolutely awesome. First of all, I had people standing up in line to take pictures with me. Just awesome. Then I actually had a lady come up to me and tell me, "I love your Mortgage Shot show. You were so funny." And that other guy is funny too. So for the first time in my life, I was the guy and Brian Stevens was the other guy.
That's good. It is true. You bring up a great point. I want to just reflect on a couple things you said. Is we've kind of stuck with it with Mortgage Shots for a while now. We've been trying to find our footing, seen different type of ideas that have worked, had some laughs, had some frustrations, but the tenacity is the most important part. So for people watching this, take this as a moment of motivation for you, that if you stick with stuff, especially going into the new year, that type of tenacity is going to pay off. Second thing, and it's sticking in or dovetailing on what you said a moment ago in tenacity, would it be fair to say, because this is what I heard, is I think people kind of assume, well, people nest during the holiday season. They're going to think more about Christmas and Thanksgiving, so people aren't going to be buying and selling houses. You're telling me that's not true. Do you think this is possible for salespeople, that they're the ones who, in fact, are nesting and thinking about the holidays, and they're using the excuse that other people aren't buying a house, and that's why their personal business slows down? That's what I think I heard from you. That's
exactly what I said. That's exactly what I meant.
Now, just one more point before we get off here. I've been dealing with frustrations on lead conversion. Okay, it's not lead generation. Frankly, I'm at a point right now where I just assume a mortgage company or a loan officer has adequate lead gen in place, because if you don't, you're so far behind the 8 ball, it's unbelievable. So going on the assumption that we do great lead gen, lead conversion is an issue that I'm finding. I say that the lead is proportionally as good or bad as the loan officer is good or bad. So you can have a bad lead with a great loan officer and he's going to convert, and you can have a great lead with a bad loan officer that convert. Because the good and the bad lead, we can't control that. It's incumbent upon the salesperson, the loan officer, to be a great lead converter. Now, you guys are doing some things over there at Hancock, and I don't want to get into this too much, but you guys are doing some stuff over there right now that is taking that marginal loan officer and making them exceptional with conversion. And tenacity plays a big part in that. You want to talk about that just for a quick second?
Yeah, I don't know how deep you want me to get into it, so I'll stay pretty shallow for a little bit. Lead conversion has always been something in this business. I was always a guy that was not a lead guy. When I was in this business, when people talked about leads, it was lending tree leads. I'm not a fan at all. Not a fan of a number of other platforms. But going exactly to your point, my job, one of the things that I have to do is figure out a way for my guys to work the most efficiently that they can, the efficiency that they have to where they're happiest, they're making the most money, is writing loans. That's where they want to be. Training realtors, training builders, writing loans. That's what they want to do. So my job as the back end guy to make sure that they've got all the tools is to make sure that whatever leads happen to fall off, that they're still going to be worked. They're still in a system. And that's one of the things we've done. So we've done that with our Facebook leads. We've automated that to where we take out so much of the work for the loan officer. But then I started having an issue with, now I've got a tremendous amount of leads. Put yourself in my place. So you've got, and I haven't checked Greg Peckman's stats here lately, but the last time I looked, he had 15 or 16,000 listing booster leads.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So how can one human being work 16,000 leads? So what I had to do is I had to build a system to where not only can he work those 16,000 leads, he can work them in a time that is really up to him. He can do it to where his efficiency, he can turn them on and turn it off, and turn a semi-warm cold lead into a hot lead coming in, an inbound, where he doesn't have to listen to any negativity. He doesn't have to listen to anybody with any problems. The only people who are calling, emailing, or texting him is somebody who wants to go forward with the transaction. So it's having to build these things continuously. I assume we're probably going to talk more about this as time goes on when I look at releasing this technology out to the world. But right now, it's just something that we had to do to help our guys every single day. If I don't help my guys, somebody else is.
That's a good, by the way, that's a great way of looking at your real estate agents. If you're a loan officer, for a real estate agent or a loan officer, that's a great way of looking at your current database, your past database, and those that you can influence. If you're not helping them and staying in touch with them, don't worry about it. They're okay because somebody else is making that call. Hey, listen, Johnny, thank you so much, and let's do this again.
Anytime, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.